Hello, friends, and welcome back to Heartscapes, where we are exploring the system of Reiki at the intersection of self reflection, spiritual practice, and social action. My name is Michaela. Welcome back to my living room this time. Wanted to shoot this video, this solstice greetings, down here in front of the winter solstice tree, the Christmas tree, the winter tree, because today, on the longest night, I just really wanted to take a moment to express my gratitude to you, to everyone in this growing community that gathers here on YouTube, that gathers in classes and circles that we host, that gathers on my newsletter, all of the places that we connect with each other. Those of us who have some spark of curiosity about what it might mean to journey home to ourself, some little piece of desire to work with the system of Reiki or to learn what it might mean to bring such a practice into our life. And I'm grateful for every opportunity that I have to be with you, to share this journey with you, and the lessons and experiences and practices that have been of great benefit to me and that continue to be of benefit to this community. So I just wanted to take a pause here on the day of the longest night of the year to be with you in gratitude. The center of the precepts of the system of Reiki is just for today. I am grateful. And gratitude really allows us to be present with each other, to be with what is in this moment. And right now, in this moment, I'm feeling the fullness of what it means to walk a path with a community of people and inside of my own self, and in particular, with the cycles of life. It is, times like this, the solstices, the equinoxes, the full moons, moments in the season where the turning of the cycle of the world is really evident. And when we're paying attention to it, that we can probably best appreciate, being an animal like this friend, that is intimately connected with the cycles of the earth. And my invitation to all of us is that we cultivate that awareness of ourselves as an interconnected part of the world, an animal in the world, all the time, every day, every moment. It's there that we find the most gratitude, I think, for what it means to really be alive. The system of Reiki, as many systems of practice across the world, across time, really leans into this reality that we are connected with all of life and with the turning of the life of the earth around us and the universe around us. And so for this solstice, as a way of expressing my gratitude to being an animal on this journey in this cycle of the world with you, with all of you who have chosen to be connected to me in one way or another, even if it's just watching this video one time. I wanted to just offer a couple of blessings from what the season is teaching me, this cycle, and then a practice. One of the practices that I use in my personal journey, my personal practice, my personal life, and that we use inside of Heartscapes is taking a moment to really feel where we are in the specific moment in the season, and to really pay attention to what our system, our body, our mind, our heart is receiving from that moment, is giving inside of that moment, what we need inside of the season. And so often that means noticing what the world needs and what the earth and the life around us is expressing. And in winter, the life around us is expressing several things, which of course will vary depending on where we are in the world. But here in the Northern Hemisphere, in Central California, really what I'm observing outside of my window is a world that's slowing down, that's turning into a time of rest that has already let go of a lot of the burdens of the busyness of the growing season and the harvesting season, and is allowing those harvests to nourish the life in a quiet and still and restful way over time. The leaves have fallen to the ground and are slowly and quietly decomposing, turning back into nourishment for the trees and the plants. We can just see this slowing down and this time of rest and nourishment happening in the world all around us. It's also a time for reflection, a time when, what has been gathered over these previous seasons has the opportunity to really work in our life. For us humans, that includes our internal life, our mental life, our emotional life. It's often a time of great self-reflection. Sometimes that time of self-reflection can feel like depression. It can feel like challenging emotions coming up, difficult memories coming forward. I'm a person who has dealt with winter depression for many years. And so, I've struggled during this time before. And I've come to relate to it differently by seeing this not as a time of depression, but as a time of reflection. Sometimes the things that need to be reflected upon are challenging, but the energy doesn't have to be one of struggle. The energy can be one of rest, of nourishment, and of reflection. And so, for this first blessing that is really speaking to me and that I want to pass along to you, is an invitation, and I really want this for you, right? To really regard yourself as part of the natural cycle, as an animal in the world, to take time in this season to really turn into your animal body and to notice the way in which your system is reflecting what's happening in the world around us. That can be in conflict sometimes with what's around us culturally, right? Because as the world is slowing down, our culture is often speeding up during this time. There's all of the frenzy around the holidays, which has unfortunately become this kind of capitalist frenzy that happens during the holidays. There's a lot of, energy around preparing for the new year and kind of the excitement of that. And we feel like we have to make goals and start working towards them, like right when January 1st hits. But January 1st is right at the beginning of winter. And so what we're really being invited into is to take those goals, to take that energy of doing and achieving, and actually remember that where we are right now is in the energy of incubation, the energy of germination, of taking those dreams, those impossibilities that we want to see manifested in our life and putting them in the ground and letting them sleep and rest for a time. So allow yourself to rest. Allow yourself to be nourished by the world around you. Allow yourself to be reflective, even if that means working through challenging things. And allow yourself to lean into what you know you need to be in healthy relationship with that process, whatever that looks like for you. And that brings me to the second blessing that's been really present for me this season. And when I went through this process myself of asking what is needed in this season, what do I need to be focusing on? And doing that through the lens of the system of Reiki and being with the precepts in that reflection. What came to me was to be your own gift. This is a time, around the holidays when there's a lot of emphasis on giving gifts and receiving gifts and generosity, or sometimes the unhealthy feelings that can be all wrapped up in that process of giving and receiving. And we can forget that the best gift that we can receive is the one that comes from our own heart. The foundation of the precepts of the system of Reiki is just for today, I'm compassionate to myself. From there, I'm compassionate to others. But first and foremost, I'm compassionate to myself. I build that strong foundation of self-love and loving self-regard so that I have the stability and I have the nourishment and I have the reserves to turn that compassion onto others. And so how that showed up for me, this season is to be my own gift and to invite you to be your own gift, whatever that means to you. That could mean allowing yourself that rest, that time of rest, and not being so caught up in the busyness of this season. It might mean, setting some personal boundaries with people around you. That could be a gift that you give to yourself. It could be giving yourself something that just makes you feel good, in a healthy and loving way. Whatever that means to you. Cultivating self-compassion, loving self-regard, and being your own gift in this season. And I wanted to lead us in a bit of a practice to kind of help bring these energies, these blessings in. And inside of that practice will be some reflection questions that I invite you to journal on that could help set the tone for this coming season. That sound good? Okay. So take a moment to get yourself settled. I'm going to settle in with you. I'm just going to lead through this meditative practice. That's going to begin with the foundational practice of the system of Reiki, and will lead us through some adventure. We'll see where it leads us. But we always begin by settling our body in for practice, which means allowing yourself to be well supported by the structures below, well supported by the structure of your body, having the support that you need to let yourself be easeful while also upright and alert, allowing yourself to make more space in the chest and in your belly so that the breath can move freely inside of your body. You might need to take a few breaths to invite your body to let go of any tension that you're holding, particularly in your belly. Just with each breath, inviting a little bit more relaxation to come into your body. We often hold our bellies tight, our chest tight, our shoulders tight, protecting these vulnerable places in the body. And so it can take a few moments to bring a little bit of ease and trust to these places. Perhaps placing a hand on your belly and inviting your belly to be soft. Inviting it to expand as you inhale, gently contract as you exhale. With each breath, inviting the breath to move in and down, to drop all the way down into your low belly. Let's just practice there for a few breaths. And then as your body comes into this posture for practice, inviting the breath to move in and down, all the way down into your low belly. Bringing the breath and the body together into an integrated movement, connecting with each other. We can bring our mind into this position, this posture for practice, by resting our attention on the sensation of the breath as it moves in and down, calling our attention all the way down into our low belly, calling our attention back from all the places we have spent it throughout the day, and allowing it to move in and down with the breath, coming all the way down into the low belly. And we're going to practice resting our attention in the place a couple inches below the belly button and deep into the center of our body. Allowing yourself to be welcomed home here into the center of your body. Drawing yourself down into the deep, fertile, nourishing darkness of your center. Allowing yourself to feel the welcoming comfort of this place. this darkness that is full of potential, full of life, a place to rest and to germinate, a place for possibility to live, a place of reflection. Taking a few breaths in and down and resting in this nourishing darkness, this rooted place. And as you continue to breathe, drawing your attention in and down, into the rooted, fertile, nourishing darkness of your low belly. Allowing yourself to be grounded here, held and supported on a strong foundation of your own body, your own energy, intimately connected with the earth below. And I invite you to begin to sense or imagine that as you bring your attention here into your centered, dark place, you find a spark of light. This beautiful spark of light, your true and whole self, bright, luminous, and clear, shining here in the center of this fertile darkness at all times. This isn't the light that you have brought into the darkness. This is the light that is of the darkness. Both of them, the fertile space of potential and the bright, clear, luminous spark, both of them your true and whole self. So as you breathe in and down, I invite you to sense or imagine the spark of light of the dark. Just be with it for a few rounds of breath. And as you rest here in this deep, nourishing, restful darkness and this bright, clear, luminous spark, I invite you to sit with this question. What does it mean? What does it feel like in this season, in this moment, to rest? For you in this moment, what does rest feel and look like? Just allowing yourself to sit with that question, not attached to a particular answer. Just noticing. What does rest feel and look like to you today? And in this moment, in this point in the season, this winter, what does nourishment look like and feel like? What does nourishment look like and feel like to you in this time? being with this question deep in your belly. And in this moment, in this season, this winter, what does reflection look like and feel like? For you in this time, what does reflection look like and feel like? Letting yourself breathe into that question. And just for today, I am compassionate with myself. And so from that space of compassion, having some sense of what rest and nourishment and reflection looks like and feels like for you. What is one small gesture or movement that you can make towards rest, nourishment, and reflection? What is some gift that you can give yourself to be your own gift in this time so that you can find rest, nourishment, and reflection? Just letting yourself sit with that question. Even if it feels like you can't give yourself the wholeness of rest, nourishment, and reflection this season, what is one small gesture that you can make? One small gift you can give yourself? Notice what that looks and feels like for you. And feeling into this moment of the solstice, of the season, as we move into the longest night, and then tomorrow begin turning back towards the light, each day getting a little bit longer. Just invite you to again bring your attention to this spark of light at the center of your belly, the spark of your true self. Welcoming yourself home here. This place that you carry with you all the time. And when you feel ready, giving yourself a gesture of completion. Coming back into this space together. So friends, I hope you enjoyed that time in your center. I invite you to take a little bit of time to journal on what came up for you, what rest and nourishment and reflection looks and feels like, and small gestures that you can give yourself in direction of those things to help be your own gift and to cultivate the energies of the season that we see so clearly in the world outside around us, to cultivate that inside of your animal body, inside of your heart and your mind, your energy, your breath, to bring that precept of just for today, I'm compassionate for myself into your life, knowing and trusting that out of that abundance of loving self-regard, that is the deep well of generosity and compassion for others that we need. So cultivate that well of self-compassion first, and then trust and allow that to flow to those that you love in your life. Let it flow to people you don't know. Let it flow to people you don't like, people who drive you nuts. Allow the strength of your own loving self-regard to extend to everyone you meet. All right, friends, have a beautiful solstice evening. Have a beautiful morning when you wake up. Be well, Be rested and nourished and reflective this season. I look forward to being with you again, knowing that as you journey through this season, may you be deeply provisioned for it. Until next time, I love you. Bye-bye.